Good morning or afternoon, whatever time you're watching. Welcome to Robyn's Roost. I'm Robyn Rassett, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Minnesota. And today I'm a day late. I usually post on Wednesdays, but yesterday was not a good day for me. I suffer from depression, so sometimes trying to put a smile on my face and greet you just doesn't work. If any of you share that with me, you know what I mean. If you don't, just accept it. Some days I just can't do things. So anyhow, today I am going to share with you my make and takes from my new catalog open house. So I held that on Sunday and had a whole bunch of samples out, and I did do a virtual walkthrough on my Facebook group, a live. So if you wanted to see what I did, you can pop over there. But let's just get going on these cards. And I'll kind of explain why I chose some of the greetings too. So here is the card that we made. This was our first make and take. And it's very simple. And I try to make my make and takes fairly simple. Not always, but I think I hit the mark on this one. So if you want to recreate this card, it has two matte pieces, and these are Timid Tiger. It's just a regular white card base that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Our matte pieces are 1.5 by 3 3/4 and 2 1/4 by 2 3/4, and then you'll just need one piece of the DSP, which is 1 1/4 by 3.5, and then a white piece to stamp on, which is 2 inches by 2.5. And I did want to pull in the designer series paper that I used was the Floral Impressions. It's part of a suite, and I'll flip through these quick. Hopefully the glare isn't too bad. They're beautiful, just gorgeous. Some greens and just kind of neutral backsides, you know, if you needed something calming, right? Sorry for the glare. And my little flip book that I made for my open house, these pieces are card fronts, so they're 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I've just slipped them into our clear envelopes and then pulled the tab off of them and glued them together in the back, so they'll come out really easy, and I can just use them for cards after I'm done now with my display. So anyways, as you can see, I do have a few extras. So the next I think there's 4 extras here once I make this this card. The next 4 people that place orders are going to get kits. I can't do any stamping for you, but I will send you the pieces that I have left over. So you could use other stamps, right? Or of course you could buy the Impressions Abloom. I am so terrible with names. It's getting worse and worse too. So here's the stamp set that we used. There's beautiful dies that go with it as well, but we're only using the stamp set here because I wanted to keep it simple. And I did want to point out, I chose the I appreciate you because I really appreciate my customers who take the time to come out to my open house. And so that was my reasoning behind the greeting that I chose for this card. There's also thanks so very much, and for being there, right? So there's some kind of a thank you greetings in here. And of course you can always, if you want to make a birthday card, pair it up with a birthday greeting from something else. So let's just, I'm going to move this off to the side. And I'm pulling in my bone folder, which if you don't have one of these, you need one. Okay, for a long time I used the back of my scissors, but the bone folders are really handy. You can use them to score things, and they make nice crisp folds. And we're making this card in landscape. See, this morning I even had to think, what's landscape? And then we can just go ahead and let's take our matte layer, and that's our Timid Tiger, and our, see, I've already forgotten the name of this. If I did a live, I would say, please tell me Floral Impressions. There's the two stamp sets that have very similar names, and I love both of them and the papers. The other one, ooh, it has a little bit more like blues, I think, in it, but see, I can't even remember it. Something Abloom, maybe, but they're both beautiful papers and beautiful stamp sets, and I can't keep them straight. And I apologize for my cat. She's very needy this morning. Oh. Her name is Princess, and she takes that, her royalty status, very seriously. So I did not pop any of these up on this card, but you could, just to give it a little bit more depth. And of course, you could always change your, like if you're doing a different stamp set and you needed like a longer piece or different shape, you could always change up the size of your white piece and your other mat to fit what you're using. And let's start with I'm using Lemon Lolly, one of my very favorite colors, and I like to start with the outline, but you could use either stamp in this two-step stamp set, right? And I apologize for the fan noise. I think my computer needs something. New battery. Hopefully it's not a new computer, because it's not that old. Okay, so now for the second step, you can either use a different color that's lighter, the same color. You could do black for the outline and a color for this. I'm actually going to stamp this off. I didn't on this one, and it kind of lost some of the detail. Let's see how it looks stamped off. It's almost too light stamped off, but we're going to call it good for this one. Now I did choose this flower from the set because it's very obvious. Oh sure, and I got cat hair on there. Wonder where that came from. It's very obvious where to line it up. Some of the other two flowers are not quite as obvious, so I thought this one would be good for any newbies who came. Okay, so that's all of our yellow. And then we're going to pull in the Timid Tiger, which is the color that we used for the mats, and this is going to be our center. And there's two different center stamps too. There's like a totally solid one, and then this one with the dots. So you could actually do the solid one and then take maybe a brown or something and do the dots. And I'm going to try stamping off on this guy and then stamp the center, since I'm kind of going with the lighter look. Oh boy, and I kind of missed on that one. That was bad. You know what? That was really bad. I'm gonna start over. Let's see. Find my yellow pink again. I don't usually get quite that far off. All right. You know what? Long as we are doing another one, let's just try this. I always like to experiment. Let's pull in a black ink pad. Give this a quick swipe here with our chamois. Let's just see how different it looks. So if we do black outlines, and it might not look good, I'm not sure. It might be too black, right? Because the outlines on this one have a lot of shadows in it. But we'll just try it. If we don't like it, we can flip it over, right? And then, whoops, wrong stamp. And then we'll just go over it, and we shouldn't need to stamp off because we have the dark lines. Ooh, it's way easier to see the lines though. I will have to admit that. So I'm not sure if I really like that. Let's try something else. I don't usually get in such an experimentation mode when I'm stamping for my videos. Boy, that's really dark, isn't it? You know what, since this is just a little piece of white, and I can cut more of those for the kits, let's just go ahead. I'm going to pull in some Darling Duck Lean, and let's see how this color works. If it's enough of a contrast that we don't lose our details. Okay, put our Darling Duckling on there. Oh, he's really got a green to him, doesn't he? I never knew ducklings were green, but maybe this won't work either. We might go back to our first try yet. Actually, that's not bad. You could do a green center in there. That would look really cool, I think. But let's see. I'm going to close this one because we're done. Let's grab this. We're going to stick with our same Timid Tiger. Let's see if I can get this lined up a little better though this time. Now that's almost too light, isn't it? Let's grab, where'd my stamp set go? Let's grab the fill-in one. Let's just put this on the other side. But you know, I think I am gonna stamp it off again because it might get too dark. Oh, I like that. Okay, so now we are done with the yellows. Do you think that's a little bit too green? Although some flowers do have a green tint to them. Okay. Let's see. I don't even know where I threw. So we do have this one, but I think that's way too dark. Now we're going to take our Granny Apple Green, put our stem in. Okay, and on my original card, I had my leaves coming down, and one of my customers said, leaves only go down when a plant is dying. So, I don't know. I think sometimes certain plants, the leaves go down, but we'll put these leaves up, Brenda, to keep the peace, right? And I think I'm just going to put one on there. Let's see. I'll do two on this one. And this leaf does actually have, excuse me, there's another leaf in here that's solid if you wanted to do a lighter color and a darker color. Okay, we're just going to stick with this one. Oh, we do have one more thing to stamp, don't we? Let's see, maybe I'll put this on first though, so I get this in the right spot. No, maybe we'll just set it there so I can kind of see where I want my greeting. Okay, here's our flower. And I actually had mine a little bit lower on here because I boo-booed and I had something to cover up. What do you think of that? Okay, so we're back to our Timid Tiger, and we're going to do our I Appreciate You. So let's put this right up here. It's one of those days. I'm going to call it good with my little boo-boo. Probably cat hair on there. Do you have pets who help you stamp? I have my old beagle, who doesn't cause any problems in the stamp room. He's right now warming my toes under my table. And the cat that you saw just a little bit ago. And then my son's dog comes down and joins us as well some days. So I have my three partners in crime who help me stamp. So we've got some, let's see, what are these called? Starburst sequins, and they're really, really pretty. Can you see the starburst in there? And I chose these because we had these nice yellow ones. You could maybe, depending upon which paper you had, you could, boy, cat hair there too. You could use the, why can I not get rid of it? You could use the purple ones, because there are some purples in here as well. Let's do one big one and two small ones, I think. Do you ever like wiffle waffle about where you want to put your sequins or gems? I try to put mine in some type of a triangle, but not always. So there is our card, and I did not put anything on the inside of the card, but of course you could, or you will, right? I think this would be a good one for a handwritten note. So let's go to our second, let's see if we can just shove the mess off to the side, Robyn. And let's go to our second project. This was our second make and take, and it's a bookmark. So I started with the strawberry slush, and we're going to need a white label and a strawberry slush label, and these have been cut with the So Fancy dies. There's like layering dies, and then another piece of that same designer series paper. And I didn't measure these, but let me just see. This one is 1 3/4 by 4 1/2, and then I've got 5 1/4, which is like a half a sheet of paper, right? By here's where it gets a little tricky. I cut this at 1 7/8 or 15/16 or some weird measurement like that, because I have trouble. This is my elegant edge tag topper. So, oh, this is really narrow. So it should have been a little bit wider than that. I like to cut it about a 1/16 short of 2 inches, and the reason being, if I have it exactly at 2 inches, I seem to have a little trouble getting it in. And when I did it for an event, I mean, I can push it in, but when I did it for an event, I wanted people to be able to just slide it in. So I did get this one a little bit too narrow. I will make sure, if you place an order and I send these out. Oh, you know what? I think I had 2 pieces that were at the end. Yes, that's what that is. And I just threw them in there. They were too narrow. Let's just double check here. Yes, this one is just a hair less than 2 inches, so that it fits into here. And if you're really accurate, 2 inches is what this should be. Like I said, I like to not have it over at all, because then you have to tuck it in there. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's get rid of these chiclets here. And I did not just throw them on the floor. So this is just going to go on here. Oh, and before I forget, I wanted to show you the inspiration for this bookmark. I have had this bookmark, I think, for years. It looks like one of my gems slid. It came from a fellow stamper, a friend of mine, Diane Lanford, and it's just, I love it. I love that Diane gave it to me, and it looks well loved. But it's also a super cute bookmark. So I just wanted to share that with you. So we'll just put this down. And I read a lot of books. I don't know about you. That bookmark I have managed to not lose. So I don't know if it's my lucky bookmark because I haven't lost it, but I really appreciate it from Diane. So that is one of my favorite things, besides all the stamping, is the people that I get to meet through Stampin' Up! As a demonstrator, as a customer too. I meet customers, I meet other demonstrators. So the stamp that I chose for this, it says "You're a true blessing," and again, I chose it with my customers in mind. And it comes from another one of my favorite word sets, I think. Yes, it is. Unbounded Love. And there are dies that come with this. I say that with a question mark because I use this stamp set, the words, a lot, but not the dies. I need to pull them out and see what actually they are. There's probably some beautiful label dies in there. Isn't that yes, there is. Now that I think about it, I know what they are. Golly, that's weird. Okay, so we're using Secret C, which is like the #1 favorite of the new in colors. And this is all the stamping that we have on this. Oh, I hope I get this sort of straight. For some reason I can't sort of putting my head over there. Well, it's a little high, isn't it? We're gonna call it good. We've got some gems to go on there. We could maybe do something with that. Now for a bookmark, I don't want anything popped up. I mean, that's just your personal preference. If you wanted it popped up, you could. Actually, I think Diane's was popped up, but I'm leaving mine flat. And then I'm going to put some of the strawberry slush gems on here. And I think these were the favorite gems as well. Now on my original one, oh, I can't even find it. Oh, here it is. I think I did 2 small ones, but because I was so lopsided, I'm going to do 1 big one on the bottom. And then I had some black twine, and see if I can get this through the hole. No, a little spit will do it, right? No, I might have to cut the end off. Okay, through the hole we go. All right, and we'll just and I'm just going to tie a knot. Now you could also loop it in there without a knot, you know, put both sides in, but I'm doing it this way. And then I think I want that just a hair shorter. So now I have to find my scissors that I just stuck in my bag. I think maybe about like that. And then I frayed the twine so it looks kind of fluffy, right? So I just use my take your pick tool and keep pulling the strands apart. You don't need to, I won't torture you through that, but I actually did it on the whole length of it. So that is our make and takes for my open house. So I hope you have fun with them, and if you place an order, the next 4 people who place an order will get the kits I'll send in the mail to you. Oops. Probably right side up. Thanks for stopping by at the Roost and putting up with my rambling all the way through to the end. I'm proud of you. Hope you have a great day.